I'm now going to be fairing my topsides repair, and as in previous episodes I'm wearing good personal protection equipment, gloves, oversuit, goggles, mask. So I'm going to use a sanding machine with 80 grit paper on here, also a block with abrasive paper on. We're nearly finished on this repair. We've conducted the major structural part of our repair and we've filled and faired the surface, so we've now got a lovely smooth surface. But we're not quite finished yet. We need to protect this part of the repair and prime it ready for the final cosmetic finishing. Now I'm going to mask this up. I'm sure you've understood that choosing the correct materials is very, very important to achieving the best results. And to that end, I would urge you to watch our other video entitled Choosing the Right Materials, which I think you'll find very useful. What I'm going to do here is give a final coating of white pigmented epoxy, which will give a good primer base for our final cosmetic finishing, but very importantly it will protect the filler that we've used here. The filler is a low density filler and it can be a little porous, so I'm going to protect it with another epoxy coating. So making sure I've got my gloves on, avoiding skin contact. I'm wearing eye protection. I'm going to use 1 pump of resin and 1 pump of hardener. I'm going to mix the two together, spend a little time mixing. I'm going to add a small amount of white pigment. We recommend 5% or less. I'm going to get a small blob on the end of my mixing stick. I'm going to blend that in with my mixed epoxy, and I've got a nice white pigmented mix here, which I can then brush on the surface of our repair and give a nice white base for the final cosmetic finish. By the way, I did make sure that the surface of this was nice and clean and free of dust and any contamination. I try not to use solvents on this because they can contaminate the surface. But you can see there I've got a nice smooth coated finish. Then remove my masking tape. It's so important to abrade this final well cured epoxy coating. My options for finishing might be using 2-component paint of the same colour as the existing hull, or it might be using gel coat. The big advantage with 2-component paint is it's relatively easy to use and it's easy to access as well. Most reputable chandlers stock a whole variety of high quality 2-component paint. The idea is that the next coating protects the epoxy from ultraviolet light. Your other option is to use gel coat over this surface, but gel coat is quite difficult to use, quite difficult to get hold of in small quantities, and maybe not so tolerant of conditions when working outside. I'd urge you to have a go at this. You can do it.